Iran's foreign minister claims its attacks on several US bases in Iraq were in self-defence. Iranian forces fired at least 15 ballistic missiles on at least 2 bases where US troops were positioned, including at Ain al-Assad and Taji. The attacks came less than a week after the US assassinated prominent Iranian general Qasem Soleimani. The foreign minister, Javad Zarif, recently tweeted Iran took and concluded proportionate measures in self-defence under Article 51 of the UN Charter, from which cowardly armed attacks against our citizens and senior officials were launched. We do not seek escalation or war, but will defend ourselves against any aggression. US President Donald Trump tweeted, "All is well." Missiles launched from Iran as 2 military bases located in Iraq. Assessment of casualties and damages taking place now. So far, so good. We have the most powerful and well-equipped military anywhere in the world by far. We'll be making a statement tomorrow morning. Sky News has approached the Department of Foreign Affairs and Defence regarding possible Australians impacted by today's events. There are reports Canadian troops based in Iraq have been moved to neighbouring Kuwait, and Chinese and Singaporean airlines have been instructed to avoid Iranian and Iraqi airspace. I should stress as well, Prime Minister Scott Morrison said earlier his information were that no Australians had been harmed. Sky News reporter Mark Stone has more from Baghdad.
Al Assad Air Base, which is about 300 kilometres south of where we are now, to the west of the capital, Baghdad, has, we understand, and it has been confirmed both by Iraqi sources to us, but also the American media is confirming it through their own sources in the Pentagon. It has been under sustained rocket and missile attack for some time. What is not clear is the size of these missiles and indeed, as you point out, whether or not there have been any casualties as a consequence of them. But if, as the Iranians are claiming, these were missiles launched from Iran at the airbase, then clearly they are very large. They are of a substantial enough size to be able to travel a significant distance, and therefore the possibility of casualties at that airbase is high, although, as I say, at this stage we don't have any details on those casualties. Separate to that, up here in Erbil in northern Iraq, where there is a US consulate and where there is a large coalition base housing not only Americans but soldiers from the UK and other European nations. There have been reports of an explosion. Now, we haven't got any details of that at the moment, but the Iranians are claiming, as I say, that they have attacked several air bases, and so we may get clarification on that in the hours to come. But there is no question now that Iran's response has begun.